This is the Dell Precision T3500, and it may look familiar to some of you because previously on Tiger Steve Tech, we have covered the Precision T3400, and there's a lot that's the same between these two machines, but the difference is much larger than a single digit. Let's take a look. On the outside, they look very similar. In fact, if not for the difference in stickers, the numbers on the front panel of the case, or the lack of the floppy on the T3500, you'd be hard-pressed to tell a difference. Even the port selection on the back is the same. And at the time of the filming of this video, you can generally get both of these machines off of eBay for under $100. On the insides, however, the T3500 and the T3400 are quite different. While the T3400's motherboard is a BTX board, the motherboard of the T3500 resembles more of an upside-down EATX board, although the layout isn't completely the same. The only fans in the chassis are the two large ones in the front of the case that push air over the sizable heatsink that covers the Intel Xeon W3565 CPU. The graphics card in this machine is an NVIDIA Quadro MVS295, which, unlike the MVS290 in the T3400, has actually a standard port selection of two DisplayPort connectors. The machine shipped with a 1TB Seagate Barracuda 17200.12, and this one, like the one in the T3400, isn't much good either. And the system has 12GB of DDR3 EZC RAM running at 1333 MHz. Nice. And I'm going to throw the specs of both of these machines up so you guys can fully see the difference. The T3500 CPU has 4 cores and 8 threads, giving us 4 times the threads that you would on the T3400. We've got 6 times the RAM, and also I like the cleaner inner layout of the T3500 more. Today, I'm only going to be benchmarking CPU performance because graphics and storage are both really easy to upgrade in these machines. So I'm going to be running Cinebench, Geekbench, and also rendering a simple timeline in OpenShot to assess CPU performance. I'll also be throwing 4GB of DDR2 from the HP workstation into the T3400 to give it a fighting chance. So let's see the scores. So what are we seeing here? The T3500 scores almost 4 times higher on average than the T3400 in Cinebench, a third higher on average in Geekbench single core, and almost 3 times higher in Geekbench multi-core. It also rendered my video in around a third of the time that the T3400 took to render that same timeline. So what does this say? Performance-wise, it makes no sense to get the T3400 over the T3500. And you can get both of these machines for similar prices off of eBay. Considering that the T3500 is on a newer and higher performance platform than the T3400, there really seems to be no reason to get the T3400. Does this mean that the T3500 deserves the hype train that I think I saw around the T3400? Not really. But unless you get one for free, the T3400 really isn't worth it. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of Tiger Steve Tech.